A lot of people don't like the Mike McCarthy interest at all. And I just want to say on the record, if you think I'm lying, you can go back and listen to 79th and Hallis episodes from 2018 when he got fired. I always felt that Mike McCarthy got too much of the blame for what happened in Green Bay. I think that because of how great Aaron Rodgers is, we don't ever put any blame on him. I think it was a mix. I think it was a 50-50 thing. I think McCarthy could have been better in situations, but this is not me saying this now. I said this 7 years ago. And if you look at some of the Cowboys also in the playoffs, a lot of that was Dak too. Like a lot of that was Dak too. A lot of that was Dak.
A lot of that was also you ran into the Niners twice that were stacked. They weren't this year's Niners.
Nope.
And then, obviously getting fucking boned by by Jordan Love last year. But how you were saying you think it's Rodgers, I also put some on previous general manager for the Packers because 100%. There was a time where there was just no interest to sign free agents. Yep. He was having to cook with just homegrown talent. They weren't going out there and throwing big bags at people.
Yeah, and remember they didn't spend a first rounder on a skill player for like a long time. So there's a lot of factors that go into it. So I want to get into the pros and the cons. I just want to say about this Mike McCarthy. There's two things I'm tired of. One, I'm tired of this is like John Fox. No, it's not. John Fox don't have a Super Bowl ring. John Fox was not an offensive guy. John Fox didn't have multiple years of 12-win seasons. And on top of that, look at what John Fox got. Like Mike McCarthy comes here, he's getting Caleb Williams. John Fox got last 2 seasons, Jay Cutler. And then when he said he either wanted Jamal Adams or Deshaun Watson, and Ryan Pace is like, nah, I'm finna go get Mr. Trubisky. You know what I'm saying? So on top of that, Alex John was also 1 foot out the door. You know what I'm saying? Like he knew this is it. So I don't like that comparison. And number 2, we also got to stop saying, oh, you can get a lot worse. I think Mike McCarthy's a good coach. I don't think he's great. I think he's a good coach. If we take away Mike Tomlin's Call of Duty speeches that I love, they're the same dude. He's offensive and he has a better playoff record. So those 2 things I got there. And I think the main thing I've heard was, they always get to the divisional round or NFC Championship game and they lose.
We would only be so blessed.
Hey, thank you. That's what I'm saying.
We would only be so blessed. It's like the conversation of, I want an offensive coordinator because if we get a defensive coordinator, the OC is going to cook with Caleb and then he's going to leave. Like, little too much dip on your chip. We have yet to see that outside of Adam Gase, and we all saw how that worked. We have yet to see that.
And on top of that, it's like, bro, like you just said, I worry about that bridge. What's time to cross it? If we get to the point when we winning 10, 11, 12 games every year and we just can't get past the second round, then we'll address that. I just want to see. Thank you, Shane. Boy, I would love to watch playoff game. We ain't seen a playoff game in so long. Bro.
I would love for a Thanksgiving game to be meaningful. I would love for December 1st, and even if we looking at the last spot in the wild card, I want the game to matter. We've been, this year we made it the furthest in being relevant in the last few years, and that was only until Halloween. Halloween came, and that was it. That was it.
It was a wrap. It was a wrap. So it's like, I get what y'all are saying, and I don't want to say beggars can't be choosers. I don't want to say that either, because I do feel like we should aim higher. But a guy who said, he's 11-11. So what? That's 20 plus playoff games, my nigga. Like, have the Bears even been in 20 plus playoff games in the last 100 years? It's a serious question. I don't even think they have. So, that's the thing where it's like, if you get to that point, we'll worry about that. And if you look at all these situations with the Packers and with the Cowboys, what you're telling me is that you don't believe that Caleb Williams' ceiling is bigger than Dak Prescott? That's what you're telling me? I think his ceiling is better. It's bigger, at least. He has a chance to be better. So I'm going to take that, that chance, I guess. I think the pros to me is what I just said. A guy who's proven he can do it, a guy who is an offensive guy, a guy who has a system. Just last year, the Cowboys had the number 1 ranked offense. Now, for everybody who's like, they got to get an offensive line, you got to get offensive line no matter who the head coach. If you think Ben Johnson going to run his offense with the offensive line we got right now, I don't know to tell you.
That's another thing I don't like. I don't like the is Sewell coming with them? Is Decker coming with him? Is Jameer Gibbs coming with them? No, they're not coming with them. But it's Ryan Pohl's job to go and identify them. You're letting him off the hook. He sat on his ass this year going into the season with over $20 million in cap space that he could have used. You know, like that you have, listen, everything with the Bears is an overcorrection to past mistakes. You are now in the mix of overcorrecting. If you go and hire a veteran coach, like somebody like Mike McCarthy or Pete Carroll, you're overcorrecting your mistake in hiring a first-time coach in Matt Eberflus. You're overcorrecting when you draft Caleb Williams and you let Justin Fields go. Although I agree with it, and Caleb is better to me as a pure passer, and the upside is higher, and I'm fine with. I'll make that deal 10 out of 10 after what we saw. When you make the decision to move on from Caleb, you are overcorrecting the mistakes made by Ryan Pace and taking Justin Fields, and your own mistakes in not developing him. You know, and you also put more pressure on yourself to develop somebody better. It's almost as if Ryan Poles and these people are waiting on, like, save us, Caleb, save us from ourselves. Like, you know, they kind of wanted to put some unfair pressure on him. Yeah. Now, you know, you go and you refuse with money. You refuse to pay for a Danielle Hunter. You didn't get into Jonathan Grenard's sweepstakes. Now you're going to have to overcorrect that this year and probably go heavy in the draft on certain positions, you know, as far as, you know, edge rusher, or, you know, like you're overcorrecting for previous mistakes. When you went and you took, you know, how many secondaries did they take? You take Kyler Gordon, you take Jaquan Brisker, you take Tyreek Stevenson, but you allow good offensive linemen and defensive linemen to go past, and now you're overcorrecting. When you go and you trade a second-round pick for Chase Claypool, but now with 2 top 10 picks, you got to waste one of them on a wide receiver instead of a Jared Verse. Right, or spending money instead of a Jared Verse or, you know, another, you know, Olu Fashanu, whatever. And I'm fine with the wrong pick as well. All I'm saying is everything is an overcorrection. You're not getting it right on your first time. You're not even coming close in some of these instances. Nope. So for me, I don't want to put these guys on the hook by saying, oh, well, Jahmyr Gibbs isn't coming. Sam Laporte isn't getting. Motherfucker, go find them. That is your job, to go find them as the GM. And as far as Mike McCarthy, look, the Cowboys finished with the top 5 offense under McCarthy in each of the 3 seasons that he had a healthy Dak Prescott. That's another thing people aren't talking about. They have really bad injury luck. I mean, look at this season. This season was derailed.
Cooper Rush moving the ball,
and they didn't give up. They didn't give up. They still played hard for him. When he was high, listen to this. Doesn't this, like, for Bears fans that shun this down? I don't know if it's because you watch all these sports shows or you're consistently hearing the name like the Cowboys just because of the. Or you're hearing the Cowboys just because they're a brand, but I don't think you really know how inept they have been for the, you know, in the duration that we have been. Listen to this. When Mike McCarthy was hired in 2020, the Cowboys had not made consecutive trips to the postseason since 2006, 2007. And ultimately, his 3 straight 12-win campaigns from 2021 to 2023 marked the club's best regular season stretch since 1993 and 1995. So he was doing shit what y'all are looking at as mediocre and not passing as, you know, for a good coach or having good teams. He was doing shit that in their highly touted franchise organization that they hadn't done in so long. Yeah. You know, we're talking about them not having. Well, they hadn't reached the playoffs since the Bears were in the Super Bowl.
Yep. And that's a good point, Alex, too. He had no control over it. Made him, Jerry Jones made him keep Kellen Moore, made him hire Zimmer, made him fire his O-line coach. He had no control at the same time, too, and he's still doing that.
No, and 100%, bro. And that's just, you know, some of that shit is, you know, some of these things is this hot tech media and the sports that how we consume music now. It's just the same way we consume music now. Listen to it, boom, throw it away. It's over within 3 days. Trash, you know, oh, blah, blah, blah. 6 out of 10, after 1 hour of listening to it, shit like that. It's the same way these sports takes are. It's the same way we got into the Bryce Young, CJ Stroud shit last year. Now we're doing the same shit with the Jaden Daniels, Caleb. It's always going to be a revolving door of that. Like, I can't tell people how to fan, but Rome wasn't built in a single day, Organizations can't be changed in a year. I 100% believe that, and I believe there's more proof and facts to show that. But you gotta really realize what you're talking to. We're looking at, there's a such thing as out of town stupid, right? There's people that are out of town stupid when it comes to the Bears. Well, we are out of town stupid when it comes to other franchises. Exactly. You would have never known that fact. I would have never known that fact unless I did my research that they hadn't gone to back-to-back postseasons since we were juniors and seniors in high school.
It's a long ass time.
The way they talk about it, you think that they in the bitch every year.
So cool. Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news, money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not